Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming here today, and I'm looking forward to telling more about the retreat that we will be running in France this July. And so I'm very excited to be here, grateful for your attendance and the time that you've put in to be here today. So today we'll be talking about Envision, which is a wellness retreat that I have created a couple years ago pre-COVID. This is me. If I look like that in real person, I don't know. It's just up for debate. But just to say a little bit about myself, I'm a clinical psychologist and the primary clinician at Mindset Consulting Psychology. I have started my professional journey in the field of neuroscience initially, so that was my main interest, and from that I graduated and found out that the only place I can work with a neuroscience degree was with rats in a lab. So instead I went back to further study and my postgrad and did a doctorate in clinical psychology, which now I am practicing with who I call my corporate athletes, my high functioning, anxious, depressed, everybody that, I say are really brilliant at what they do, but, occasionally would need a little bit of a hand or a tweak to identify some blind spots. So growing up, a little bit about my personal connection to mental health. Growing up, I grew up in a very strict Filipino family and emotions were not discussed. So if you're having trouble with anything, you just zip it and you just get on with it. Unless you've got something nice to say, unless you've got something positive, then they don't really want to hear about it. So my experience with mental health was that it didn't really exist for me growing up. And all of that started changing when we relocated and migrated to New Zealand. And we had a little bit of this Western culture versus Asian culture. And that's when, I started telling my mom, I was like, oh, I'm a bit stressed, I'm a bit worried. What are you stressed about? You've got nothing to be stressed about. So that was really like my first ideas about mental health. And certainly, for people that have grown up in different cultures, they're really torn about how to please your parents and at the same time, how to be authentic with oneself. So my personal connection to mental health started at a very early age. My sister herself suffered from bipolar disorder when she was a teenager, and so a lot of the time I was looked upon to be the parent in the family, and so I've kind of taken that kind of caregiver role from an early age. But in the end, it actually served me well, because as a result, I feel like I'm an advocate for mental health awareness. I'm an advocate for being able to talk about difficult conversations and to be able to get on top of some of the things that are unnecessarily stressful and to be more proactive about health and well-being. So the importance of mental health cannot be understated, especially now after the pandemic, when we have experienced an increasing amount of stress, depression, anxiety, and it's now recognized as an essential component in productivity and success. So people talk about happiness, people talk about success, people talk about thriving, and in order to have those conversations, you've got to be able to talk about mental health and how important that is in all of the above. So 39% of Australians, this is a recent study in the last year, that they have chosen mental health as the most important aspect of their wellness, and 37% of us have already incorporated the physical aspect of mental health in our routines. And this is interesting, 19% have added breath work and 13% have added wellness treatments like acupuncture to their routines. So what that is showing is that mental health or wellness is not just in the sphere of medicine and science, but people are also exploring alternative therapies in order to support the goal of being healthy and happy. And meditation has continued to be popular and continues to assist people in their wellness. So mindfulness meditation, it's a bit of a buzzword, but it is for a reason, because they have found that it really does work. So this is like a little interesting thing, maybe because I want to write a self-help book, but I decided to put that down here, that the self-help book industry has now grown to like $1 billion and it continues to grow. And in the last year, 1 out of 5 people, and this is worldwide, not just Australia, have read a self-help book in the past year. So there's a lot of money to be made, but it's, if anything, the interest is there because people are wanting the knowledge, they want the information, and there is a little bit of a surge for that self-development, personal growth. And then the fitness industry, because you can't really have, you know, a healthy mind without you don't have a healthy body, which Olivia will talk to us more about. So the fitness industry is also growing. So $2.1 billion is the cost of this industry because we're starting to invest more on these things in life and we kind of are seeing the value of it